2009 to 2015 Honda Pilot 3.5. I'm going to be replacing the air intake boot. These rip. They can throw a code P0171, 174, or map sensor codes. This one has a rip right here, so it's going to be replaced. But sometimes these rips can be really big, and they could be in these grooves pretty much anywhere on the backside too. Just over time they rip, replacing the air filter or whatever. They just rip. But here's the part number. This is a Honda genuine part. I'm going to link two below on Amazon. They have these. This is how the OEM one comes. It doesn't come with new clamps. Like I said, the ones on Amazon, you have an aftermarket for $22 and then the OEM for $44. Aftermarket comes with clamps, but I highly recommend getting the OEM one because it's just a better material, and then it fits 2009 to a 2015 Honda Pilot. This is a touring Pilot, 2014 3.5. So this part will fit on here perfect. Let's go ahead and I'll show you how to get this out. First, let's get this map sensor. Put this little wire harness out of the groove right here. And then the throttle sensor also has a wire harness that goes into a little groove right there. You could just kind of pop that out. Now, the air box has to come off. Has 4 screws. They're 8mm or a Phillips. So you got 8mm socket right here. And we'll just go ahead and get these out, or a Phillips screwdriver bit or screwdriver by hand, whatever you want to do, but just go ahead and get these out. Now these are supposed to stay in the box, but sometimes they come out like this. It's not a big deal if they do, just don't drop them or lose them. I'm going to go ahead and get these other ones out. There's one over here, and then there's one back here. Okay, so I got those out, and then right here is the clamp for the hose. It's a 10mm. You just go ahead and loosen that up. You don't have to get it completely, loosened and for the clamp to come apart. You can just get it loosened pretty good. Now let's make sure that the car is off and the key's not in the vehicle or nothing. We're going to disconnect these sensors. This map sensor has a little thumb tab you're going to push, and then you can wiggle it and pull it backwards. Sometimes they could be stubborn. Once that's off, you should be able to just lift this up and kind of gently pull it out. Get this out of the way. And then we'll set this aside. Alright, now once that's off, let's come over here. And this clamp I'm going to save for last because it's like kind of annoying to get off because there's really no room to push it backwards. But let's go ahead and disconnect the throttle plate sensor and to get to this clamp underneath it. Push on this thumb tab, and then you're going to wiggle and pull it backwards. The throttle plate sensor was really stubborn, so if you have to use like a small flathead to gently hold up the locking tab, you can. Just be careful not to break the locking tab. And I'm going to go ahead and get this 10mm clamp loose. Okay, now once that is loose, I want to make sure there's nothing attached to this hose or attached to the intake boot. And I'll just kind of wiggle and gently pull this backwards like this. Now the clamp has that little pipe going into it. This is just air that travels through here, and we're going to take some pliers and loosen that clamp and then pull the clamp backwards as far as you can. There's not that much room. You'll see what I'm talking about when you're doing it. And then you're going to just, while you're doing that, you're going to pull on the boot and just kind of wiggle it and pull it off of that metal hose. It'll be very stubborn, especially because these cars are getting older now. Let's go ahead and pull this off. Don't lose your patience, and don't lose that small clamp. It likes to fall off once you actually get this off. So don't let this fall off and fall into the engine. Alright, now let's bust out our new intake boot. Now if you got the OEM one, it's going to look like this. The OEM one has thicker rubber. It's better. It's going to last longer. I also recommend getting a little Seal Glide or some lube and just putting it on the inside of the hoses where they go on. This won't damage the hose or nothing, or the intake hose, and then we'll just put a little bit of this on just inside of the just very light amount on the inside. That's why when you put it on, it's not like, friction nonstop. Anyways, and if you have the OEM one, you're gonna have to switch over the hose clamps, which is a lot easier because they have like these little guides that you could that show you where to put it, and then you could just tighten it down. The aftermarket one will come with clamps if you don't want to mess with this, but it's really not even that big deal. But it's up to you. I'll link both intake hoses below. So I'm just getting these hose clamps in place right now. Got one there. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the other side. And like I said, the clamps have little guides that'll show you where to go. This guy I'm going to put onto this metal hose and just have him on there ready to go when I put the boot back on. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to slide this clamp on here. Excuse me. And then I'm going to get this part on first. We're going to put it on. And with that lube on the hose, it slides on like way easier, than, nothing but resistance and friction. So same down on here. Got this on right here. Now make sure that the hose is truly on. So when you get it on, like feel around and make sure that the whole top, bottom, sides is actually around, because sometimes you put this on and you feel like it's on, but it'll like collapse and it won't truly be on. So we're gonna get this on. Got that on fully, and then you could just tighten down the 10mm clamp. Okay, now we'll bring in the airbox housing, slide that in place, and then once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and put the bolts back in on the airbox housing. You might have to like move it a little up or down or left or right to get the bolt holes to line up, but you get these in, and then we'll go ahead and plug our MAF sensor in like this. Put the little wire harness back in the guides, and then we can go ahead, and if you haven't done it already, tighten down the throttle plate clamp. And then once that's on, you could put our throttle plate sensor connector back in. Make sure it's in really good. Make sure everything's good there. And then just make sure nothing's not right, or, double check everything. And make sure that small clamp is in. If you have check engine lights, you might have to drive it for a while for them to go away if this was the cause of them. Just make sure everything's tight, plugged in before you turn your car on. And that's it, guys. So I hope this video helped you out. I have some extra stuff if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching.
Alright guys, that's all the information I got for you. The rest of the video is just some products and other stuff I got going on. Totally up to you if you want to stick around. Got a 15% off promo code for AUXITO.com. They got a handful of products, but what they're mostly known for is their really good aftermarket LED headlights. They've been out a few years now, and at first the lights they had were 200% brighter than regular headlight bulbs. Now they've upgraded the tech this year, and now it's 600% brighter. So if you're in the boonies, the suburbs, the city, I highly recommend you upgrade your bulbs. Nothing wrong with having an old car, but you should get with the times and have bright headlights like everyone else. These bulbs are available on Amazon. However, if you go to the AUXITO website, that's where I could give you a promo code for 15% off. All you got to do is go to the website, type in your year, make, and model. There's basically products for every car out there, and what kind of light you want. They have all kinds of different lights for interior, exterior, headlights, and then you just browse to what you need and you get it. And then at checkout, you're going to type in GearmoAuto and then hit apply in the coupon code spot, and it'll take 15% off.